What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my office. We haven't been here in a long time, but today I've got a huge unboxing for you, and I mean huge. There's a lot of stuff to go through, including a cooler, a bait wallet, 4 months of Darkhorse tackle. We've got a brand spanking new reel from Kastking that just hit the market, the MG Tie. We got their titanium pliers as well, and a whole bunch of Great Lakes Finesse, the Micro Series, as well as some new stuff from our boys over at Pradco, and the most recent Bank and Creek bag. So there is a lot of stuff to go through. In fact, we did this unboxing in 2 parts, but we're gonna jam pack it into one because we just wanna show you all the stuff. Again, as always, buy it or don't. These companies send us some things to try out. We aim to review them. And when we review stuff on this channel, we beat the ever-loving heck out of it. So plan on seeing the MG Tie get absolutely dunked on in a lake. These pliers are gonna do a lot of damage to probably us and also other things. And then of course, we're gonna use that Rugged Road cooler and all of the lures that you see in this video as much as we possibly can, so we can give you a full-on review later on the water. I almost forgot this crazy thing too. It's a soft cooler we'll get to in a second. Whew, it's a lot of stuff. We gotta get rolling. First things first, let's unbox all of the tackle from Darkhorse Tackle. That's these guys right here. Look at this, look at my guy Parker packing up the box. This guy absolutely hammers smallmouth and all fish. He's really good at fishing. So I believe the stuff in this box is gonna help me catch some fish. So we're gonna go through all 4 of these and the Bank and Creek bag, and guess what? I already filmed this on the water with Paul, so let's go to my truck tailgate and let's unbox those, and then we'll be right back here in the office to go through the rest of the stuff. Go!
Unboxing on a tailgate, banging on a trash can.
Oh no. Why don't I have any street lights?
We have the Darkhorse tackle box, which you haven't seen on the channel in a while because they hadn't sent us one in 4 months. So I have April, May, June, July, which is a handcrafted box. Oh, look at that thing. It's gorgeous. It's our boy Parker.
I was about to say, pretty awesome to have your hand-painted face on a box.
Right.
I'll just wait my turn.
Don't worry, we also have the Bank and Creek bags.
So if you guys don't know about Darkhorse, they have the sticker here on the front. It says, supporting small American businesses since 2019 with the American flag. That is because they work with a bunch of small bait manufacturers to fill these boxes with baits made, distributed by small American businesses. I think that's really cool, and I think that's something that we should all be about, and it doesn't hurt that the baits are freaking sweet. So you'll see them when we get in real quick, and then if you're not familiar with the banking...
Why wouldn't you be?
And why wouldn't you be? The Bank and Creek bag, this is the Pradco family of brands that includes Great Lakes Finesse, Rebel, Booyah. There's a whole bunch of them in here, but every other month, so every 2 months, they release a new one of these. And what we love about this is, 1, it's an awesome value.
Yep.
2, they combo everything really, really well. So like your spinnerbait has a plastic matched up for it every single time.
Or jigs or whatever, yep.
Everything's comboed really well, which is something we've always looked for in other boxes. And then they always include either a special color or like a really high-end bait. So like in this case, I can already see the Great Lakes Finesse Dropkick is in here. We'll show you what those look like, but we just love the fact that it's a value. It comes out every other month, so you're not like spending all your money, and then you get really cool things. So it's like these are the 2 opposite sides of the spectrum as far as like what the offering is, and these are some of our favorites.
Precisely. Cheers, mate.
Oh.
Let's unbox some things.
We're going super fast through this. We'll show you what's in the box, lickety split, then we're getting out on the water.
Split. I
Splitty
need
lickety.
my knife. All right, so what's in April? So we got a actually, that's a really sick little square bill there. The Icon square bill.
Icon.
Ooh, nice little wake bait. Balsa. Black label balsa wake bait. That's gonna be money today, actually. And then we got a nice jig here from Brazalo. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Brazalo has put a couple buzz baits, spinner baits into the box,
Yes.
so that'll be a nice juicy jig.
Oh, that's perfect for today.
Oh, we got trick worms here from Catch Outdoors. Dandy Joe's original floating worm. How is this in here?
That's what I'm saying. It's old school.
I feel like this is a bonus bait. We got Z Bait Co with the craw. So this is their
Nico craw?
Nope, not the Nico craw, but this will be good on that jig. So these are gonna pair up really well. And then you got 2 small bait companies you can mess around with.
That color's money for here.
Next, we're going to May. Got another card here. Here's your prices. Plasterine. Next up, oh, this is sick. Titanium Pro Picasso?
Yeah, bro.
Picasso,
Pretty
small
sick.
but bougie.
What?
Let's go.
Super bouge.
Bluegill bladed jig here from Motion Fishing. That's gonna be sick.
We're gonna get into some arguments.
Whoa, we
No,
are.
here.
And I'm going to win. We got the Garage Tech, love the name. Flipping and skipping jig. What in the friggin' heck is this?
Ned drop.
It's called the Snapshot. So Ned rig, drop shot, small shaky head, purple and black. That's sick. And then Somatis. Always loving some Somatis. So that'll be good for Texas rig or trim it down, throw it on that jig as well.
That's Somatis paddle tail we got like 5 months ago out of this box. Chef's kiss.
We're going to June. Pull on in, Mr. DNR. Urban Fishing Outlaws. We got a custom sticky in that one. Here's your what's in the box and prices there for June.
Some top water.
Hashtag
you can take that one.
We got a frog here. A little kicky feed on that one. Similar to that Mollix.
That's
the Mollix one I have, but this is Hags Bait Co. So that looks pretty sick. White belly on it too. This is perfect right now. We got you're playing with this. The Black Label Wake Twitch bait. Look at that friggin' thing. It's balsa too.
What?
And then we can fight over this. We were just talking about this. Brazalo with the buzz bait.
That one, I feel like people are sleeping on Brazalo.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, they keep showing up different places and they always look juiced. So
They are
that one's funny.
clean.
Look at the hook keeper.
Forked out on that bait keeper there. That's going to be sick. It's bashing into that little ball bearing thing there. So that's sick. All right, so we got bitters. More bites per pack. I love that. Biters. Bitters? No, it's 2 T's.
Bitter biter.
Bitter biter. Bitters gets more bites. So that is a sick, like, dude, 5-6 inch
That's
fluke.
a beast.
Bam.
That's a big one with that.
And then what are we throwing on that buzzbait? We got the Phenom Frog here from UFO Tackle Supply, Urban Fishing Outlaws. So that is really cool. Boom.
Respect.
Going in the box. All right, then we get to the fancy painted box.
July.
I just saw a thing that makes me really happy in here. Check this out. Oh, here's a note you can read to the folks. Here's what's in the box. You guys see something familiar in there? I'm pumped that our boy finally got in the box. We got the mule fishing. This is the bluegrass bug. This is really exciting for us. Like, we wanted to have him in our box. We did basically a December Christmas box, and it just wasn't like a December bait. So, I'm glad those conversations continued and mule fishing got in the box. So I'd love to see that. So we got
this bait is incredible, by the way. When you get that down low, this thing absolutely stomps some big fish. It's like it has it's a do nothing bait. It always gets it done.
It's insane.
So Ryan Parker chose all these baits, so that would include the mule. And then you can buy everything, as always, each individual bait or the box on its own. So Ryan set up a good one. This big Josh, I can already see is sick. So yeah, go follow Ryan for sure. And then definitely, if you're interested in any of these baits, you can buy them individually on the Darkhorse website. I'll put the link in the description below.
All right, so then we got the Lil Digger, the Stoneman and Sons. Look at that.
They always crush it, dude.
Yeah, they do.
Had some cool. Their Karashi knock was awesome.
Yeah, this thing is sick. So 3/8 of an ounce, 2.2 inches, 3 rattles BKK hooks.
Yeah. You can't, dude. Good luck getting that out of the box for this price.
Right?
Dude.
All right, we got a Bass Dope. Basically a football, kind of a skinny football head jig there with a nice brush guard to it. All black with the, it's kind of the rubbery skirt.
Put a little green pumpkin on there and I think you're in business, or a little blue.
The Pillhead Compact Jig, 1/4 ounce.
Pretty sick.
Then we got a swim jig here, and this is from Brazalo.
Dude,
Brazalo Lures.
Brazalo making a freaking...
Every month in this box, man. I think I have this swim jig.
Sick.
Come here. So, nice little swim jig, white and chartreuse. That's going to get it done.
What the frick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we put on these things? Well, we've got from Bitters here, more bites per pack. We've got a 4-pack of, kind of similar to like a cane thumper, just that ribbed, girthy body, big kicky tail. Little skinny tail there is going to have a lot of movement. So, swim jig option there. We got the Interceptor baits.
That's cool.
Look at that thing. So, 3.5-inch impulse.
It's like an arrowhead shape. That's pretty
sick.
sick. Yeah.
That'll be a fun combo. And then we've got Big Joshy with the copper truce color, right? Chartreuse bottom, green pumpkin upper, a little gold flake in there. So
drop shot that.
Yeah.
You're getting lit up.
All right, last thing, and then we're getting on the water because I'm itching for some fish. Oh my God, the mid-morning window.
Itching for fishing.
All right, so we got the Bank and Creek bag. What is in this? A lot.
Dude, this one is stacked.
Dinger Angler Society.
Shut up.
You took the last sticker, man.
That's cool.
Dibs. All right, so what do we got going on? Well, we got some topwater stuff. A lot of topwater stuff. We got the old Headin' Torpedo. This thing is fantastic. We all know that. So there's one.
Don't show them they're heading.
This is the one we're really excited about, though. So this is the, the Super Spook Boyo. Oh, Boyo!
Dude, that's freaking awesome.
Little tiny topwater walking bait. Love that. We got the Booyah Pop and Pad Crasher Junior, so little guy in
legendary
orange,
frog. I have this in my
green.
truck right now.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, you should put it in your boat, would be my suggestion. Oh, it's a torpedo, dude.
I know.
Yep. Wherever the water takes us, Banking Creek. It's going in Paul's garage. I dig it. All right, what else we got in here? We got little Crick Hopper Popper. Yep. Love the name of that too. Crick Hopper Popper.
Summertime, like at least for the Michigan August time when the grasshoppers are out and big. Dude, that's the one. Throw it up high. Here come the pairings, right? We mentioned these things pair up really well. So what they've got in here is, is this a hanging head? No, it's a swim head. Yes. So we got the GLF swim head in a 1/4 ounce, also in that like perch green orange type color. And then they paired that up with a 2.75 inch drop kick shad. These things are nuts. Kicky tail, super kicky tail. It's insane. Like it's because they're neutrally buoyant. The lighter you go in the head, they literally just hover like this. Yep. And then just the current kicks that tail like doo, 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 doo. It's awesome. All right, next pairing, we've got the pumpkin head jig from Yum. So we got 3 shaky head jigs in there. Super wide gap on these, so it's really easy to keep your rig weedless. Super wide range of options. Yeah, and then they gave us 3 things to throw on it or for no reason. Rig on their own. For no reason. So we got the finesse worm. Love those. Great color, by the way. Is this the plum? Yeah. Plum. So this worm is the first, probably one of the first baits ever caught a fish on, artificial. Then we got the, which one is this? The thumpin' dinger. So, little speed worm action today. It's summer, so, I mean, that's clutch. Also, ghillie suit, which is one of our favorite colors. Yes. It's got the copper flake in there. And then you got that tail on the end. And lastly, ribbon tail with the same color-ish as the finesse worm, just no flash on it. So, this one's really muted, more of a matte. And this is gonna be your deep summer going down deep. Yeah. Texas rig that, flip that around, or you can throw it on the shaky head. So I mean, options are abound. We got stuff to fish, you guys. We're gonna split this up. We're gonna go hit the water. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We did get a chance to test all those baits out. They worked really well. One of my favorites was actually that buzz bait, and I did catch a fish on that, which was cool. But there were, of course, good body baits, crankbaits in there. Paul got a really cool topwater waking bait. That was actually a stick bait. That was sick. Plenty of good stuff from the Banking Creek bag as well. That absolutely will bang. You had the frog from Booyah. You had a whole bunch of great plastics. And then, of course, you had Great Lakes Finesse, which is always a nice value to see in those bags. And they included the paddle tail and the jig head from them, which was great. Lots of good options in there. You can't really go wrong. And now we got to go through the rest of this stuff. Next up, I got a whole bunch of stuff from Great Lakes Finesse and their brand new terminal wallet. So they launched this at ICAST. All their stuff from ICAST, by the way, it's available now, which is cool. And that's kind of a novelty for ICAST because most companies are testing the waters. They're putting stuff out there, maybe even prototype stuff that's not ready until later this year or next year. Great Lakes Finesse already ahead of the game. Check this out. So this terminal wallet can be absolutely loaded down, and I have loaded it down. I think it's definitely a solid option if you use a lot of Great Lakes Finesse because it really is specifically tailored to their size packaging, right? So you can do that. Now, of course, you don't have to put the whole package in there. You can just slip baits into these. These are super heavy duty sleeves. So I doubled up on the tube jigs actually in here, and you can fit them in there just fine. And then you can index it however you want to. You can label these things. It does have the heavy duty Ziploc function at the top, which is kind of nice. And even though I've loaded this down, you can see I filled almost all but one, two, there. I still have like 7 pages to fill, but I filled that many pages, which is quite a lot. And it still closes nice and flat. So I think it's a great option, especially for folks that are specifically fishing for what these are made for, which is like your smallmouth bass. If you want some trophies, you're gonna get on them. Now, these baits, of course, also catch largemouth. They catch multi-species, and we've done it plenty of times. Got a lot of faith in this company. We've been rocking their stuff for a long time. Always a big fan. And I mean, for us, it has to catch fish. It has to perform well. It has to not fall apart on us. And these guys have been doing a great job. So I'm always gonna advocate for them. I know it's pricier, so I know it's not for everybody, but if it's in your budget, I think it's worth a shot. And this little terminal wallet, friggin' sick. But the GLF train does not stop there because we've got their new micro series. When the water's cold or the water's really hot, sometimes it's a great option to go ahead and just downsize your stuff. Now, they've been working on these in the background for a long time, but they just took their very popular baits that have been doing really good and they downsized them. So we got our drop minnow now in a 2.25 inch instead of the 2.75 or 3.25 that they also have. They also came out with the little baby craw So we now have the micro juvie craw, and there is quite a difference between this and the standard size juvie craw. Just look at that. It is the size of the end of my thumb, and it's got a ton of action. So these are pretty sick. I'm excited to test these out. I think that we're going to catch a lot of fish with them. Neat. And yes, I pre-rigged that one because I want to fish it right now. But wait, it gets even cuter because we've got the micro snack craw. So these things downsized as well. Look at that little tiny guy. This would be great drop shot or throw it on their Ned rig. They now have downsized weights for all their terminal as well. So if you want a tiny sneaky underspin, they got that. In fact, let me show you it. So the new sneaky comes in a bunch of smaller sizes. So they got 332, 1/8, and 3/16 ounce. So I have here the 332 because I wanted to go to the teeny tiny guy, which if I'm doing my math correctly, 332 is the smallest. Look at that. Little tiny dude. Now here's something really cool that I wanted to point out. With Great Lakes Finesse, we know Dan Miguel really well. First of all, the guy's a hammer, absolute stick on the water. He wins tournaments nonstop. So if you want somebody who's gonna put you on big fish, that's all he does for a living. That's why I have a lot of faith in someone like that versus somebody who gives in to daddy equity, as Tackle Talk, Andrew Hayes would like to say, and says, do whatever makes money. This guy's doing stuff that catches big fish. Now, of course, he also has to make money. That's how companies work. So something really cool I wanted to point out though is we did have an issue with the bait keeper. The bait keeper right here that you see didn't used to be tied up like it is now. They actually basically shrink wrap this sucker so it won't move. On the previous iteration of the sneaky underspin, we had an issue where that bait keeper was getting loose. It wouldn't break off, but it'd go all cattywampus all over the place. I love that word. And when you go to rig your plastic, sometimes it would push under that flexing bait keeper and you would have issues with your rigging. So what did they do? They heard people complain about this. They of course noticed it themselves and they came out with a new version of that sneaky underspin which cleans all of that up. So I love to see when companies do that. I think that's awesome. Last but not least, from GLF, you can expect some new colors in everything I just showed you, plus new colors in the Dropkick Shad. If you guys haven't used the Dropkick Shad before, this thing is kind of insane. Hang on, how do I open you now? They heat shrunk their bag closed. Y'all, I gotta point it out because it happened, but I'm pretty sure they heat shrunk the bag too high. So there is a zip lock on these. And normally I don't remember tearing these off, but now I have to cut that top off. So, because one of the things I like about these is typically, we just gotta point that stuff out, right? It does come with its own little slim clamshell, which doesn't take up a ton of extra room. Y'all know how we feel about clamshells, but you kind of got to have them with paddle tails just to keep that tail in the right shape. But again, if you haven't seen these before, they're freaking nuts. That tail will just be moving a ton. It is very, very thin plastic back there. They're pretty durable, they're neutrally buoyant, and they kick a butt ton. So if you want to go with a finesse like underspin or paddle tail presentation, we've been using these a lot. They're a lot of fun to fish with, and they absolutely smack them. So something worth checking out. Yeah, all of these Dropkick bags are sealed shut, but if I go to my juvie craw, see, it opens up and you can still have the hanger tab there. So I don't know if that's just the Dropkick run, but it's just something I noticed, so figured I'd call it out. And by the way, there's a heck ton of these baits that we're gonna be using. This is all micro series, plus this section right here is all Dropkick shads. And we're definitely gonna give away a lot of these on our members only live. So if you wanna become a YouTube member, click join below, you can learn more about it and come over to our members only live. We do one every single month and we always do fun little, what we call shmivaways. Got a couple more new drops here from Pradco I wanted to go through, and a little bit of apparel coming out from Great Lakes Finesse. They actually have another new hat. I think it's a rope hat, but we got new flat bills from Great Lakes Finesse with the green underneath. I love that color combo. They got the army green shirt with their logo on it. Also got one of our favorite shirt runs from them, a little charcoal logo on the black shirt, and the same for the hoodie. So if you're into cool apparel, looking for some fishing gear, fishing swag, you can get all that stuff from Great Lakes Finesse. And if you want to look for any of this stuff, it's usually over on lurenet.com. So go check out lurenet.com for that. Next up, we got another ICAST drop, which they loaded us up with, and that is the Flashpoint Junior in the deep and shallow version. So Flashpoint, if you guys remember us talking about it before, is that jerkbait that has, why? has a little willow blade just embedded in the head. So it's going to give you some flash. They also designed these so that they can pop better on forward-facing sonar. I haven't used my forward-facing sonar in like 13 months, so I cannot confirm that, but I can say that it is a solid jerkbait. I've caught a ton of fish on the regular size version of this, and for me personally, and I believe Paul as well, up here in the Midwest, we live in Michigan, we like to fish the downsized jerkbaits. More often than not, this is getting us the quantity of bites that we're looking for. Now, when we're chasing bigs, that's when we'll upsize to those big jerk baits. But sometimes you can catch a giant on these, especially in the dog days of summer or the ultra cold spring or fall waters. So these are pretty heckin' solid, and they got a trillion colors. Big fan of this one right here. Look at that little flash added to the side, a little chartreuse in white. They call it the Chrome Dome. Great name, great color. What do you want me to say about it? This is also a good one, the little bleeding shad color there. They've got lots of Clearwater special colors, all sorts of stuff. Let's take a look real quick on one of the shallow divers. And just so you can see the other size too, another great color here, a little bluegill flash to it. And you've got the shallow diving lip. All the hooks on these also super finessey, super light, and very loud bait. And it also has that weight transfer system in it, so you can bomb cast these suckers out there, even with the smaller, lighter junior version. They sent us something that I know Paul is going to be really excited about, and that is the Phil Stealth model. So we've got some new bobbers to play around with. We've got the little stubby Stealth right there, and then we got more of the full sizer right there. Not a float or bobber fisherman myself, but these look pretty dang neat. So it looks like they just sit below the water a little bit more. You can see on their instructions there on the back. I know nothing about this, but I know that they're in a box that I have, so I'm probably going to end up using them at some point in time. And if not, I can guarantee you Paul will use these over on St. Clair when he's up at his cottage. So they're going to get some use. Finally, got my second most used yum bait right now, which is the Sonar Minnow. I use these things a ton. In fact, I was out on the water testing out the new NS130 inflatable with the NT600 motor from Newport this weekend, and these were smacking them. So we have the 3-inch now and a 5-inch model. Normally we were fishing like the 4s. Here's the 4-inch model. They got some new colors. So we've got, what is this? Shadow Shad. Shadow Shad. It's a cool name, cool color, a little darker shad color you can throw. There's some insane colors in here too. This is another good one, Glacier Minnow. So you get that little like pearl blue kind of color. Ooh, this one's sick. Pro Green Pearl. Dude, this one's just called Smooth. Flashy AF. So here's a 5-incher. I had to run up to the boat because there were some way cooler colors that I had to show you guys. So I was mostly fishing these two. I did show you this already, but there's a 5-inch version of the Milkshaker, which is money. And then, this is probably my favorite color out of the whole thing. This one's called Gold Rush. Look at that. Gold with a hint of purple in there with the pearl belly. I think it's nuts. So there you go, a bunch of new colors and sizes and options for the Sonar Minnow. Yes, it's like a forward-facing sonar bait, but whatever, like it's a minnow bait and it works really well. But wait, the ICAST baits don't stop yet because we've got a new one from Z-Man here. Actually 2, that I'm gonna show you. Technically 3, whatever. But we got the llama tubes. So little tiny baby tube. I've got 2 colors here that they sent us. They have a bunch more. This one's called Siren. It's basically straight chartreuse. And then we've got the Canada Craw, which is just a classic color. So I've got one of these rigged up I wanna show you guys. And what you rig them up with would be a micro tube jig. You can use theirs. These things are sick. Come in a bunch of different weights. I got 1/16 and 3/16 that they sent us. And this is what they actually look like up close. There's the 3/16. Look at the little 1/16. So nice, compact little tube jig. Very easy to rig with the Elastec. Slips right in there and then you just pop out the line tie section. And that's what it looks like once it's actually rigged. Look at that. Look at that little baby. These are cool. I'm really excited to fish with them. I love fishing with tubes. I know we're gonna catch a bunch on them, and when you downsize, like, especially up here in Michigan, you just can't go wrong. It's just gonna work really well. The other new drop we have from them is the Micro Max. So instead of the Mini Max. The Micro Max is smaller, right? I've used the Mini Max a ton. It's a great little chatterbait. And the Micro Max is even more downsized. It's in fact even smaller than the Baby Jack. So here's the Baby Jack. The Mini Max and the Baby Jack are pretty similarly sized, and then you look at the Micro Max next to that. So nice and teeny tiny. You get that wire tied skirt in there, so that's gonna hold up really well. You got their premium chatterbait blade on there as well. And then you get the snap clip, which for some reason, I know it's not for everybody, but it's definitely my preferred option for a bladed jig or a chatterbait. And then of course you got a downsized, more finesse-y hook to that with the molded in bait keepers. All around, this is gonna be great on BFS, but of course you can throw it on a spinning setup or any of your bait casters that are capable of casting those slightly lighter weights. This does come in a couple different weight options, and you can get it in like a 1/4 ounce or a little above. So you can really cast this on any setup. I know for a fact I'm gonna have the most fun throwing this on my power bait finesse setup. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And while these aren't brand new, they did send us 2 new colors of the Baby Jack, and these are my 2 favorite colors that it comes in. So we've got more of this like chartreuse and white shad color with the green pumpkin painted blade. And then my favorite color of all time, of all of their chatterbaits, is Brett's Gill. This thing is absolutely sick. A little hint of orange in there, purples and greens, and then the gold blade. Hands down, the most fish I've caught on a chatterbait has been this color. Any size. Any variation, doesn't matter. Caught them all on that. Moving on, we got a couple things from Kastking, and then we got the coolers, then we're out of here. So, Kastking dropped the purple to go with their Royal Legend. We've already unboxed on the channel the Royal Legend casting and spinning reels. We also now have from them the Royal Legend rods to go with those, and we have been fishing the heck out of them, and they are surprisingly good. $91 reel, overall under $200 combo, and I can tell you right now, you're gonna be happy with it. I was frogging with the topwater setup with the Royal Legend reel yesterday and had some of the most fun I've ever had. It was a blast. I think Bombcast has a really good braking system, and the rods are also very nice. Even though they are 2-piece, and I know that scares a lot of people, they perform. I was hammering frog hook sets on those things. Now, you match that up with their Hyper Seal box in the Royal Legend Purple. So that's pretty sick. I know a lot of people love the Hyper Seal boxes. They are great in terms of being a budget. That thing was sealed. Hyper sealed. No. Seriously, they seal really good. So you've got the gasket around the outside, keeping this thing watertight. And then you've got a billion dividers that they've already pre-included for you. They're all set up. You end up just taking them out. And then they have their water wick pack in there as well. So if you've liked things like the Plano Edge, the Busby, even if you're looking at Evolution, this is another alternate that you can throw into the mix. We've already been using their Hyper Seal, the orange one. There's one over on the shelf over there. I've been using it for a couple of years, and they're great. It's a great budget option if you're looking for one. In fact, after this video, I'm gonna load that up with some baits that I gotta test, and I'm gonna go hit the water with it. Then we've got titanium, titanium, titanium. So we've got the MG tie, I've actually got 2 of them here, and the titanium pliers. These are pretty sick. I've actually got a pair of pliers on both of my kayaks right now. Oh wait, there's one right here. Haha! So these pliers are pretty sick. I've been using them off and on my kayak and on my inflatable. Check them out. I actually used this pair all day yesterday, and they've got a couple of really cool features to them. So first off, it locks into place, so you can lock it closed, and it's spring locked. So you got a nice spring system in there. Time will tell. You know, with any pair of pliers, I always say, let's give it a month or 2 months of heavy usage, and then we'll report back on it. So this is just first look, and a couple of days of fishing with it. They're really nice though. You've got your cutters built in right there. They are replaceable. You just need the torque bit, the little star bit there. And then look at this. It's got freaking teeth. This came in the clutch yesterday. I had a couple of fish that choked a frog, and it was really easy with that tooth setting there, and also this slim and trim bottom piece that the teeth go around, as you can see, just to get down in there and keep that fish safe, get it back in the water as soon as I could. You got your spot for your split shot right there, and you got heavy duty teeth. Now the benefit of this being titanium is that it can be super lightweight and super rigid and strong. So it should hold up for a while, we hope. We'll find out. I don't know, what else can I say? It's a pair of pliers, but it's a really nice pair of pliers. And then it comes with the coiled retractor. I don't know about you guys, I'm not usually a fan of that, so I'll probably swap this out. But I'm using it for now because that's what it came with, and a little heavy duty carabiner on the back. So pretty neat. One thing that's cool about that is that they were selling this. I don't know if they're still selling it at the time of this video, but they were selling it with the new launch of the MG tie reel, which we have right here, which is their new bougie reel. Not the eye reel, their actual like bougie reel. So this reel, we got like right after ICAST, which is cool. I fished it on a medium heavy setup all day yesterday. I was fishing mostly Texas rig. It was like weightless Texas, or I was fishing the BSE from Big Bite Baits, the best skipper ever, that Nick, the informative fisherman, put us onto, and can confirm, can cast any weight you want. Like literally I was going through my arsenal. I went from a heavy bait to a light bait to a medium weight bait and back and forth without really changing much in terms of the settings on this, and I had no issues with it. Also, it was really easy to dial in my skipping with this setup right out of the box, which is cool. That's definitely what I would consider like a premium performing reel. Other than that, what's the benefit of this? Well, they're using a combination of magnesium and titanium. So you got this magnesium frame, which is going to drop the weight, and they've got a titanium spool in here. So side plate on a spring, nice. And then here is your titanium spool with cool Japanese writing on it that I don't know what it says. As far as the braking system, they're using a new braking system. This is called the, oh no, can we not get it into frame? Well, if you can't see it, it says Halo Twirling Braking. I've used it. It performs really well. And I used it at a bunch of different settings, because one thing I noticed about this that is kind of a con that I got to point out right away is this side adjustment for your brake is really easy, depending on how you guys hold your reel. I hold mine kind of like this, to bump. See that? So what I was doing is, as I was making these big casts out there and I go to start retrieving, I would find out that after a couple of casts, I had bumped the adjustment, and instead of it being set at like a 5 out of 10, it was at a 10. It like just got rotated up to a 10, and I was like, why is my cast not going as far anymore? Oh. So that is something to be aware of. Now, it's not a deal breaker for me by any means, because the rest of the stuff about this reel is fantastic, but it is something that I found out just through first day of use. The other cool thing about this is it does have a clicking drag. So the drag clicks, which is nice. I enjoy that. Not everybody cares about that. I think that's nice. And then the star drag is actually oversized as heck. Look at that. So that's kind of cool, because you can just use your hand to kind of flip it. If you're a one-hand retriever, if you want to be, I don't know, texting or scrolling TikTok, you can also be retrieving a fish. But it's also just really easy to adjust on the fly, because it's just big enough, it's there. It's also not too big, I feel, where it's in the way. I never had an issue with that while I was fishing it all day yesterday. They got the really nice, big, oversized paddle rubber grips on there, carbon reel handle. Overall, just very lightweight, feels very nice. I think I weighed it at the show. They had a scale there, and it was like just over 5 ounces. So it's very light, and it feels rigid. It doesn't feel like that plastic, or sometimes even magnesium reels can have that really light, cheap kind of feeling to it when it's too light. It feels like you're gonna break the toy that you spent a lot of money on, because these are not cheap. I think this reel is $2.99, so you don't wanna do that, but it does not feel like I would do that at any point in time. And you got the clicky little spool tension adjustment on the side there too. Overall, solid, smooth. I had a lot of fun fishing with it. Y'all know we are not like the super techie reel guys. We are more just go by feel and use case scenario type guys. And having used this now, I can say it's solid. You would be very happy with this if it's in your budget. I understand this is not in a lot of people's budgets, because it is $2.99. But that said, if you did end up grabbing one of these, or you got it as a gift sometime, you would be extremely pleased, and you're gonna have a lot of fun fishing with it. For those of you saying, shut up and give me the specs, there they are. Pause to read all of that right there. So we have 2 of these. We have a right-hand retrieve and a left-hand retrieve, just because companies by default will send right-hand retrieves, and we have to say, please send us a lefty. But we did get one lefty, and that's the one I used all day yesterday. And both of ours that we have are the 7:2-to-1 gear ratio. Overall, see, 5 ounces. So I don't know if the scale wasn't adjusted at the time, but it was like 5 or 5.1. But yeah, it is, can confirm, very light right there. So far, happily surprised with that reel. I'm excited to use it a lot more this season. And that drag was doing work on a few of those fish catches. So if you guys see the Newport test day when I took out the NT600, all those fish I was catching that day were either on that or the Royal Legend combo for the most part. And it was a blast. I had a good time. Thanks for hanging with us so far. Last thing we've got is a couple of Rugged Road coolers to share with y'all. 2 brand new ones, and a new thing I didn't know existed, but I guess already existed. And that is right there. So you can get a nice little like SeaDek style mat. So this is your waterproof mat, not gonna get nasty, and it's just a really cool accent to your rugged road, which otherwise just looks like that. There's nothing up on top. You got like your little fish board. I mean, I think it's cool as is, but if you wanna add a little accessory, if you wanna accessorize, accentuate your cooler, it's a cool option and I like it a lot. Especially if you sit on the cooler a lot, which we did when we fished with Sup Customs down in Tampa Bay, and they had that on all of their rugged roads that we were sitting on, added a nice little extra level of comfort. So if you want to use it as a seat on a Sup or an inflatable, that could be a good option. Next up, we've got their brand new drop. We've got an ultra lightweight downsize cooler. This is their 25. These coolers are not cheap. I understand that. I also love a product that is built to last a lifetime, and these are built to last a lifetime. So if you want a cooler that is 1, very lightweight, 2, floats in an upright position so you can just have it just hanging out in the water with you if you want to, and 3 is borderline unbreakable. We stand on these things, we throw these things, we've cut fish up on these things. They hold up. They are very high quality. So I've been impressed with them. Totally get if it's out of your price range, but it's something we like to showcase just because we've used them a ton and we think they're awesome. And that's what we do on this channel. We're gonna show stuff, and sometimes it'll be in range for a lot of people and sometimes it won't be. And that's just because we wanna show all the stuff that exists. We're also gonna review cheap coolers. Stay tuned, we'll find some. And if you have any recommendations of products that are cheap or expensive, feel free to drop them in the comments. Let us know. If we haven't covered it, it's something we'll definitely consider. If we can afford to get it, we'll get it. And if that company wants to send it, they'll send it. They know our drill. We are unbiased. We're gonna show that it exists. If we break it, we're gonna talk about it. If it doesn't perform that well, we're gonna talk about it. And if we love it, we're gonna talk about it. No matter what, we just wanna share everything we can with you guys because we wanna be a resource for you. Back to the cooler. So cool things about the 25. I took this out on the inflatable all day yesterday. It was awesome. And it sat at the front in this position because it's just got one little flip handle and it opens up like this. So it's just hyper convenient. You got the same tray that you get with all your rugged roads. So we got that little separator there. All I did was I took a big old ice pack, put it in the bottom the night before, so it's pre-chilled cooler. And then I threw all of my food in there and extra waters and Gatorades and stuff for the day. And I dropped in my tray. Food was up top, so it didn't sit on the ice pack. And I closed that up and we went out on the water. I think this thing is pretty dang solid. You even have the flippable top. So this top comes out, take the lid off, and then you can flip it around so you have these recessed little cup holders in it. So we can do this right here. If I line it up right, there we go. And then your top is now able to hold food and cups. It's even recessed a little bit. I think that's really nice. One more cool feature about this we found out at ICAST is when you flip that down and you're opening it up and accessing stuff, if you just put the handle up, it closes it for you. Just a cool little thing. Something else they thought about. Last thing in the video, we've got the Rugged Road. They called it the Tardigrade. Tardigrade is a great name for this. It's supposed to be built to last forever. Withstands the test of time is what that tells me. And this is a super heavy duty cooler bag that is also a dry pack with a crazy magnet to it. Very comfortable back section that has also got the deep ridged vents there. We wore these in the Florida heat. We just tossed this on our back, very comfortable padded straps. And we were actually unloading with Sup Customs, just getting all those big rigs out on the water and had no issue. In the humidity, sweltering heat, mosquitoes, thousands of them. I got destroyed. So did Paul. It was horrible. But this was not that bad. It was pretty nice. And then we took it out there with a bunch of our drinks and food, and they were chilled the entire time. You've got 2 heavy-duty buckles on the side. You've also got all the molly straps, the little accessory straps along the side there as well, and up and down each side of this. Got the chest strap on there, and then when you unroll this thing, which by the way, you don't have to like super roll this thing up because it's got a heavy duty magnet to it. So that magnet is double layered. It's gonna hold all your stuff in there just fine. There's your deep cooler bag, and then the cooler comes out. So here is just the cooler, the convenient little strap there or a handle here. And this is also a magnet top that rolls down. There's also an accessory strap on the front. So that's pretty neat. So you can take this just as is if you wanted to. And then this, the rest of the bag serves as a dry pack. Now we showed this in the ICAST video. They did not send us one, but I'm gonna go order one. But there is 2 little tabs down there. See those tabs right there? So there's 2 of those, and they're a magnet tab. You can add a laptop bag. It's a full sleeve for up to a 15-inch laptop that slides in here, locks into place, sits out of the way of your cooler, so you can take all of your stuff and your work if you want to, I guess, on your adventures, which is cool. For someone like Paul and I, when we have to take a laptop with us to edit videos at ICAST, for example, this could be a really convenient option. There is also, I'll never be able to show it on camera here, but there's a little mesh sleeve down in there for your water bottle too, which is also cool. And then you got a zipper on the front. This pocket is waterproof, but not water submersible. So as long as you zip this zipper all the way up, any water hitting this is not gonna get into that pocket, but if you were to dunk it, the stuff in here would get wet. That's true with most bags like this. And then there's also an accessory strap on the front, which I could foresee us adding a rod holder to, and I don't know, maybe going on an adventure or 2 with this. Overall, pretty neat. Also, I understand out of a lot of people's price ranges, but something I would consider if you're on the market for a really nice dry bag cooler like this. It's gonna be up there in terms of price, close to like a Yeti. That's kind of what you're looking at. All right, y'all, that's all I got for this unboxing video. Hopefully this was helpful for you if you were on the market for maybe some new tackle, maybe some coolers, maybe some reels, tools, tackle storage. I think we covered the friggin' gamut today. We had a lot of stuff. Bottom line, buy it or don't. That is up to you. It is up to what you think looks cool, seems convenient or functional for you, and also of course fits your budget. So if you saw something awesome, go consider picking it up. And if you didn't see anything you liked in this video, that's fine. We've got a lot more unboxings and reviews coming your way. Of course, as always, make sure you recommend some things for us in the comments below. We want to be a resource for you guys as far as unboxings and reviews. So we'll give you our first look perspective, and then we'll go actually use the stuff, and we beat the tar out of everything that we get. So if you want to see how it holds up, maybe recommend it if we haven't touched it on the channel yet. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Okay, bye.